When you think of Japan, what comes to mind? Let's be honest, it's probably Tokyo, right? Or maybe Kyoto. But what about the country's fourth largest city? It's a massive industrial and cultural hub, but somehow it just gets completely overlooked by travelers. Well, today we're diving into Nagoya.
So, yeah, it's got this reputation that just kind of sticks to it. You see people planning their big trip to Japan, and they've got this checklist. Tokyo for the bright lights, Kyoto for the temples, and Nagoya? It often ends up as just a quick stop on the bullet train, if it's not skipped altogether. But is that boring label actually fair?
Well, there's a really passionate counter-argument being made, and it's not coming from some official city tourism board. Nope, it's coming from two European expats who fell so in love with the city, they decided to take that boring stereotype and just smash it to pieces themselves. Let's meet them. This is Eli from Spain and Lena from Germany. Between the two of them, they've lived in Nagoya for almost 20 years. And they just got fed up with hearing their adopted home get dismissed. So what did they do? They started a tour company with probably the most direct, in-your-face name you can imagine. Nagoya is not boring. Their whole mission is to peel back that industrial wrapper and show everyone the vibrant city hiding inside.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? They realized that even people in Japan didn't know what to do in Nagoya. Eli and Lena knew the city was packed with these incredible secrets, and they were like, look, if we can just show people what's actually here, they'll get it, they'll love it.
So, how do you start to fight a reputation like that? Well, you go deep. You start by digging into the history. Their tours don't just, skim the surface. They go right to the historical heart of the region, to places like the Atsuta Shrine.
Okay, so this isn't just some random local shrine. Atsuta Jingu is a huge deal. It's almost 2,000 years old and is considered the second most important Shinto shrine in the entire country. Why? Because it's said to be the home of one of Japan's 3 sacred treasures, the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi. Now, to really get why this is so important, it helps to know the difference between the two main faiths in Japan. You've got Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples. Shinto is Japan's ancient native religion, all about nature and spirits called kami. You'll know a shrine by its iconic torii gate. Buddhism, on the other hand, was brought over from Asia much later. They've coexisted for centuries and really shaped the whole culture.
And this specific shrine, Atsuta, is directly connected to one of the most unbelievable turning points in all of samurai history. We're talking about a single battle in the year 1560 that completely changed the future of Japan, the Battle of Okehazama. Just think about these odds for a second. A local warlord was up against an invading army that was 10 times bigger than his own. It was a fight that looked absolutely impossible to win.
That warlord was the one and only Oda Nobunaga. And before he marched his tiny army of 2,500 soldiers into what looked like certain death against 25,000 men, he made one very important stop. He went to Atsuta Shrine and prayed for a miracle.
And guess what? He got his miracle. Against all odds, Nobunaga won this incredible, shocking victory that put him on the path to uniting all of Japan. He was convinced he had divine help, so to say thank you, he donated a massive wall to the shrine. And the craziest part, that very wall, the Nobunaga Bay, is still standing there today. It's a 460-year-old piece of history, marking the exact spot where everything changed.
Now, for Eli and Lena, showing people Nagoya's soul isn't just about ancient history. It's about its culture, and maybe the best way to understand it is to taste it. They believe the perfect metaphor for the city is actually its most famous dish.
The dish is called hitsumabushi. It's grilled eel on top of rice. But it's not just about the food, it's about how you eat it. It's a whole ritual that happens in 3 stages, and each step reveals a totally new layer of flavor. Kind of like the city itself. So here's how it works. First, you just enjoy the grilled eel and rice as is, pure and simple. Then, for the second stage, you mix in condiments like wasabi and green onions, which adds this whole new kick. And for the finale, you pour a savory broth over everything and turn it into this delicious, comforting soup. It's one dish, but you get 3 totally different experiences out of it. A perfect metaphor for Nagoya, right?
And this whole idea of discovering things in layers, that is the exact philosophy that drives Eli and Lena's tours. They are not interested in the usual tourist stuff at all.
I mean, they are actively pushing back against that mass tourism model. The big buses that drop off a huge crowd for a quick picture at the castle and then they're gone. Their goal is something way deeper, way more authentic. Something that's actually about real human connection.
You can totally see their commitment in the way they work. Right here, they're putting together a new tour for the autumn season. But they're not just finding a pretty park.
No, they're arranging a tea ceremony in someone's actual home, and they're digging into the deep cultural meaning of the changing seasons. For them, the real prize isn't a famous landmark. It's these small, meaningful moments.
Okay, so this all leads to the big question. They pour all this passion and research and care into creating these one-of-a-kind experiences that are, the total opposite of boring, but does it actually work?
So after all of that amazing, thoughtful work, the tea ceremony, the history, the pure passion, their new autumn tour is finally ready. It goes live. So, did anyone book it?
The result? 0. Nothing. Not a single person signed up. If you're going by the traditional way of measuring success, it was a complete and total failure.
But this is where you see what they're really all about. They weren't crushed. They didn't see it as a failure. They saw it as a really important learning experience. Because this whole process, creating something new, trying it, putting it out there, that is the real work. That's what it takes to build something that's going to last.
See, their goal was never just to sell a couple of tours. It's much bigger. It's about fundamentally changing the entire conversation around Nagoya. They want to use these beautifully crafted tours as a proof of concept, to go to the big travel agencies and say, hey, look, there's a different, better way to do this. The real victory is just getting people curious and proving that Nagoya is, for sure, not boring.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? What actually makes a city interesting? Is it the famous landmarks that everyone takes a picture of? Or is it the hidden stories, the layered traditions, and the passionate people who are inviting you to discover what's waiting just beneath the surface?